Hello and welcome to another VanTech Tuesday, and in this one I want to sort of start off with a bit of a special message. And that is that some people kind of write me an email and say, I didn't want to put this on your YouTube channel because it's a bit of a silly question or whatever, or it's about my caravan. Or it's about my motorhome or something like that. So I wanted to start off with saying that on this channel, caravans, motorhomes, campervans, tents, trailer tents, self-build, bought it from a manufacturer, whatever, are equally the same in my view. I've had for 20 years many campervans, motorhomes and caravans, even a couple of tents. And yeah, over 20 years or so, I've done all that and therefore feel quite happy that I can talk to any of you about whatever it is that you use to go camping. It's about the community for me, and it's about helping out people who enjoy getting out there, a bit of a travel and adventure and meeting up with other people. So don't ever feel that your question is silly because it's not purely about a campervan or a van conversion or anything like that. Please just feel free to ask the question. Right, okay, let's get started. And this one is actually about a caravan. And it's a guy who's written to me via email. Again, this is what kind of prompted me to say that thing, which is, am I okay buying an adapter off eBay to refill my Calagas bottles with LPG? And this is where it gets a bit scary because I didn't realise that people were selling that kind of stuff on eBay. Apparently it's not illegal to sell these adapters, but it is illegal to use them in the UK. And that's because the Calagas bottles are refilled in a factory to a certain weight. If you put these adapters in the side of a Calagas bottle or any other type of manufacturer, you know, just the standard gas bottle, if you put this adapter in there and take it and fill it with LPG, you can fill it to the brim, so full. If it gets hot, it's going to blow up and there's going to be pieces of whatever you installed that bottle blown around for probably hundreds of meters. Hopefully not you or your family or loved ones. So please do not buy those adapters and do not think that it's a cheap way to get refillable LPG gas bottles. They are so very dangerous. So yeah, please avoid doing that at all possible. The reason why LPG refillable bottles are so expensive, say for example a crash, fire, extreme cold, extreme heat, all that kind of stuff, that's what they're built to withstand. So yeah, please do not do that. Okay, the next question. Somebody said to me, I believe you've refitted your cameras now you've left Portugal. Was there a problem in Portugal because of the dashcam laws? Now, apparently there are some laws in Portugal that owning a dashcam is illegal. I kind of get a bit confused about that one because dashcams help people in accidents. Not only the police to understand whose fault it was, but designers of roads and tarmac and all that kind of stuff to understand what caused the accident and could they, you know, change the road layout or the road surface or whatever. To help out other motorists for not having the same accident. So I think if it is true, and I think I have read it somewhere, that Portuguese law states you don't use a dash cam, I think that's ludicrous. Just outrageously ludicrous. From my point of view, I drove all the way through France, Spain, Portugal with the cameras you can see there. The camera we use you know, to record was pointing out of the window. All the cameras, the Wi-Fi cameras, are left on the outside of the van, no problem. There was police at many occasions nearby. Some even drove past and checked on us, and we never had a problem whatsoever. So whether it's a law that they are stringent about, I doubt, or whether it's a law that, you know, kind of like maybe is a bit of an archaic one, I don't know. There are certainly lots of CCTV around shops, supermarkets and town centres. So if they're allowed to put their little cameras up, I don't see why everybody else should be having a problem putting cameras up to protect themselves as well. So no problems whatsoever in Portugal or Spain or France. Next question is, I live in my car. It's a small SUV. I would like to know, is it practical to fit a diesel heater in my car? I guess so. I mean, diesel heaters are fitted into cars to help them warm up in colder climates. So you can remotely switch on the diesel heater, it heats up the inside of the car. Some even have it so it can heat up the engine block as well. So yeah, I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do that at all. Essentially, as long as you take the usual precautions that you're supposed to take when you're installing a van or whatever as well, then yeah, I think that should work fine. You might get really warm though, because they're meant to do to heat a much bigger space. But yeah, I can't see an issue with that. The usual precautions, like I say, about ventilation of exhaust gases and all that kind of stuff, sealing it up properly and everything else. So yeah, install it right, and yeah, I don't see a problem. Next question. Which country do you prefer driving in of all the countries you visited in your van? Now, I've visited a lot of countries in the van for the last 18 months or so that we've had the van, nearly 2 years. So I'm going to guess that you probably mean this trip we're on now. So that's France, Spain, Portugal, or the UK. And I would say for driving, France. I love the Spanish scenery. Spanish road network's fantastic. France is just slightly better. Portugal, the roads are dire. I don't know if you saw some of the videos we did, banging up and down the roads and potholes inside the roads, root trees, roots growing up in major road networks and stuff like that in the middle of the road. Yeah, so I would say France, really. Much easier to navigate. The road layouts get you wherever you want to go across the country, and they're really predominantly really nice smooth roads too, with lots of airs that you can stop off as well to have lunch or kip over at night or refresh your services and things like that. Next question, and this is a very strange one again, and it relates to a caravan. If I'm only ever going on campsites, is there a need for a lead acid battery, or instead can I just install a mains 12 volt DC power supply? Technically, yeah, I guess you could just do that. A lot of caravans these days obviously are still based around 12 volts, so you can go and sit in a rally field or do whatever. So a lot of the lights and circuitry will be benefiting from having the battery and the 12 volt system in there. So if you're only actually ever going on a campsite and you're going to be hooked in, then yeah, 12 volt power supply, or rather a mains to 12 volt power supply, as long as it's perfectly well regulated, yeah, I can't see the problem with that. Just make sure that you get something like a 30 amp version, so it's powerful enough to actually power all the things, all the 12 volt things in the van. Then yeah, I don't see a problem with that either. Next question is, have you had any problems from locals in any of the countries you visited regarding Brexit? Now, you might remember back in Portugal, when I think it was the first or the second week in Portugal, we were leaving a campsite, a rough campsite, and somebody blocked our way and just wanted to be a bit of an idiot and just said, Brexit, go home. And that's the only instance, really. And I can say probably, I can count on probably less than 5 fingers the amount of times someone's spoken to us about Brexit as well. So it doesn't seem to be a big concern over here, certainly not in a negative way. People are curious about it. The only thing I would say is reading some of the news articles and speaking to some of the locals, there's a really kind of like mixed view of Brexit in the continent. Like, we hate Spain, France, Portugal or whatever, and Germany, and that's why we want to get rid of them. That's the way it's portrayed over here. So I think people are just a bit kind of like curious about it. Certainly nothing negative and no confrontations apart from that one Portuguese idiot. Right, that's it for this week's bits of Q&A. I just want to remind you of 2 things. The quirky ticket giveaway that we're doing. If you don't know what that is, check out our Friday vlog. I think it's called Epic Mountains and Thermal Baths. At the end of that video, there's a quirky ticket giveaway. 2 adult tickets, 1 dog ticket, all in the same van. So if you watch that and you've not got your quirky tickets because they're all sold out, go watch that competition to enter. And the second one is, I get that maybe not everyone's going to be winning the quirky tickets, you know. We are going to be camping at the International Campervan Show, which is a couple of weeks before Quirky, and it's in Stratford-upon-Avon at the Stratford-upon-Avon Racecourse. I believe it's, if you use our discount code, so make sure you do that, it's about £32 for the entire weekend of camping and everything else. So please do make sure that, obviously I'll put all links and everything in the description down below so you can check them out. Well, thanks for watching. I'd say any questions about any type of campervan, caravan, motorhome, self-build, factory built, whatever, please do ask the questions down below, and don't ever feel that any question is too silly. Right, take care everyone. See you soon. Bye.